Well, I'm going to do an experiment today using resincrete and this jewellery mould and put different things in it and see if it stays in the resincrete or what sort of effect it has, whether it's going to look pretty. I made these a few weeks ago. I don't know if you've seen them. If not, I'll link the video at the end of this one so you can see, and they fit nicely into these moulds. I made a whole range of them to get some great effects. In this one, I've put some of these glass gems. I'm not sure that these are going to stay in, but if they don't stay in, then I think they'll leave a nice pretty pattern in the actual thing. And I've made sure that they're also, the point of the gem is sticking upwards. So in this one, I'm going to try the microfine glitter that I use and push that down. And hopefully that is going to sit in there like that. I'm pushing it down with my finger to make it so it's got a really good adhesion to that silicone, and it flattens the glitter out, makes it really quite nice and shiny. I'm also going to be using some chameleon powder. Now, I know that the colour of the resincrete is going to be white because I'm not going to colour the resincrete. You could if you want to, but I'm not going to because I want to see how it contrasts with the actual white powder or the white colour. So that's the chameleon powder there. Some of this may stay in, some of it may not. I don't know. And then for the chameleon flakes, I'm going to be using the lime green one. And the last one I'm going to be using for the powders is the chrome powders that I've got. And it's going to be really interesting to see if it picks these up. And now I'm going to push some nail art in as well. And these are just the little fruits that you can get of nail art. I love nail art. Goes so well with resin, so I use it a lot. I think these ones might just float into the actual item, but we will see. I think we should have a few flowers in that one as well. There we go. And then the last one I'm going to be doing, I'm using the resincrete pigments here, and I'm going to put some little drops in, like this, of the pigments, and see what that does in there once I pour the resincrete over it. Actually, I'm going to do two of those. I'm going to do one like that with dots in, and this one I'm going to do something slightly different with. See what happens. I'm going to take a micro brush like this, and I'm just going to work this around and through like that. So let's mix up our resincrete. Put that to one side, and we can test those all out. So resincrete is always mixed. 100 grams of the powder, or 100 of whatever measurements you're using, to 30 grams of water. Never the other way around, because if not, it won't cure. So I'm going to mix up 150 grams of resincrete. If I need to mix up more, I can. It's not a problem. And then on top of that, I'm going to need 45 grams of water. And then I'm going to give that a good mix round, making sure I push the powder to the sides because I don't want any lumps in it if I can avoid them. I'm not going to leave this... Oh, look how messy I am. Sorry, Jay. I'm not going to leave this until it thickens up slightly. I want to put it in freshly mixed. There we go. I think that's nicely mixed up now. Pour that in. Hopefully these aren't just going to float to the top, these little plastic things, but it is looking like they are, so they might not be how I want them. This is an experiment, so if it works, and that's great. I've learnt something, and we'll have all learnt something. And if it doesn't, well, then we've learnt something again, because we've learnt not to do it. So that's all done. We'll leave that now for about 3/4 of an hour to cure up, and then we'll come back to it and see which ones have worked. So actually, while they're drying, I've decided what I'm going to do is fill some of these other ones with some just clear resincrete and try a couple of techniques with that once that's dry of decorating them. So I've got my plain or my clear, that's not clear, my white resincrete mixed up, and now I'm going to pour that into these, and then I'm going to try something a little bit different with these once they're done and see if we can get some great results from these, just in case these other ones don't work. I do like to have several things going on at the same time. So that's those all poured. And like I said, we'll come back to these once they're all cured. Well, these are all cured up enough now to take them out. The floating little beads I actually removed from this, although I did miss one. So let's have a look and see what's happened to that. Oh, they've stuck in there. They're actually quite pretty. But I would want that to be a little bit further down than that, really. But they do look quite pretty, although if you have a thing about holes, I'm sure you're not going to enjoy looking at that. So let's have a look at this microfine glitter. Oh, and that picked up really well. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Definitely love that one. This is the chameleon flakes. That didn't pick up as well. It's got a nice little finish to it, but it didn't pick up as well. But we can do something with these in a minute to actually make it look better. The chrome powder, that has picked up really nicely. Oh, and the little pieces of fruit, they all stayed in there, look. I like that, that's cute. Chameleon powders. Oh, that picked up nice. This is the one where I just put the dots of colour in. And that has cured up really, really pretty. That looks like tie-dye to me. And that's the one where I put the piece of... I couldn't think which one that one was for a minute. That's one of those inserts that I was talking about. So let's take that out. And that's my favourite insert. Oh, and that has come out really, really well. So if you want to know how I make these inserts, then check out that video. But that has come out beautiful. Love that. This is the one where I moved the colours about. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is just awesome. I absolutely adore that. And then these are the plain ones. So before I do anything else with these, what I'm going to do is let these dry for a few hours, probably 48 hours. What I'll do is I'll actually put them in my heat box and cure them for 4 hours, which I find is the equivalent of letting them cure for 48 hours, because we want them to be completely dry before we do the next stage. So these are all cured now and lovely and dry, and what I'm going to do is try my watercolor pens on them, and this should really soak into these lovely and give a very bright color, which it does seem to be doing. Because this is such a brilliant white, when it dries, then you get a really true colour come up at the end. I'm not a watercolourist, so I'm just doing the best that I can with my limited skills. But if you had good watercolour skills, I'm sure you could make some beautiful jewellery and pendants like this. There we go, a little mountain scene. Now I will let whatever I paint on these dry for 24 hours, or I'll stick them in my curing box again for a few hours, because I want to seal these afterwards and give them a gloss finish. And I'm going to do that with all of them, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And now what I'm going to do, now I've got that red, I'm going to try and put some highlights of this using these chrome markers and a micro brush, just by rubbing it through some of these areas. And then once it's glossy, I think this will look lovely. Or alternatively, it might look like a pile of poo and I might have ruined it, but I can always cast another one. So that's what that one looks like now, with it being just a few highlights in there. And I'm going to paint the outside a different colour. So I'm going to go all the way around and paint this. And then I'm going to paint a few others, and then I'll show you how I'm going to seal them and make them lovely and glossy. The last one I'm going to test on these three are acrylic markers, to see if there's any difference in these once we go to varnish them. I've written on the back what each one of them is, so I'll easily remember, because if not, I might not. Well, I've got these all finished now, as much as I want to do. If I was going to do these, once I've done this test, if I'm going to decorate some, then I'd probably be a little bit more careful with what I'm doing. But overall, I'm really pleased with them. What I'm going to do is let them dry and give them a boost with a hairdryer as well, because I want to make sure everything is fully dry. If you want to put them in your curing box, you can do that for a couple of hours, and I think that would really dry them out completely. But I'm going to give them about 5 minutes with a hairdryer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the gloss sealer that Resincrete make. Don't forget, you can use this on lots of different things. You don't have to just use it on Resincrete. You can use it on paper mache, pictures, all sorts of stuff. It is great. And it works really well if you put it on using a sponge. And it comes with these sponges. That way you don't get any brush marks. My only concern is that it might reactivate the watercolours and possibly any of the paints that I put on. But until we try it, I don't know. Now I'm going to put a glove on because it does get quite sticky and I don't want it all over my hands. So all you need to do is just pop your sponge in. You don't need a lot of it like that. I think I'll start with the watercolours. Now it definitely has gone on there and sealed that, but as you can see, it has come off on the sponge as well. So it has activated those watercolours again, but it hasn't seemed to smudge them too badly. But it has more so on this black. It's kind of taking the black off of it. Yeah, so watercolours, if you're going to seal them with this sealer, aren't going to work. I'm going to wash this sponge out in soapy water. I'm not going to continue with those ones because I don't want to keep contaminating masks. So they look pretty on there and they look great. But if you want to use this varnish, then you may be better off using a spray varnish to start with. So the next one I'm going to try is with the permanent marker. And this has actually activated the permanent marker a little bit as well, because I can see some coming off. So again, you might just be better off spraying them with a spray rather than... I do love this sealer, and it seals lovely and gives you such a glossy effect, but maybe not for these marker pens. And then the last one, this is the acrylic marker. And that's perfect. Hasn't come off at all onto the sponge, and so should give a really good effect. Oh, so acrylic markers definitely work well with that. Look, none of that colour has come off from there. So now I'm just going to give these a quick going over. Not that the glitter one needed doing, because that came out lovely. Now this one where I did the ink in it and then didn't dilute them down, that has also spread, which is a real shame because I love this one. If it was mixed properly into the actual resin-crete, it wouldn't do that. So I'm going to let those dry. These three... and that one I'm going to, which is a permanent marker, I'm going to spray with some spray varnish to see how well that works. So these are the results. I actually went out and sprayed these ones, the watercolour ones, and that one, and then I put that liquid over it once that spray had dried, and I think they've come out absolutely beautiful. I mean, my artwork's not beautiful, but I think the use of the watercolours has come out beautiful. I like the mountain one as well, and that one with all the colours. But they did need spraying first, because that way you weren't smudging the colours across. The acrylic markers, they worked perfectly the first time. I really like those. I love the simple designs on them, and look how beautiful and glossy that is now as well. And they're all like that. That was just using the J. Diction gloss sealer. And the permanent markers, again, they did smudge a little bit, but that has come out lovely and glossy. I quite like the effect that that's given with the permanent markers. So they're what I would consider to be the successes. Now the fails, the resin-crete colour, I loved that to start with. I thought that come out beautiful. Looked like tie-dye. Once I put the gloss sealer over it, it smudged it. So I would again spray that first and then use the gloss sealer. It picked that up really, really well. And look how glossy that is. The same with the fruit. It picked that up really, really well. The nail art, and that came out really glossy. This is the chameleon powder. That was okay. I don't think it looked brilliant. Certainly the chameleon flakes didn't pick up very well either. Or the chrome powders. The gems, they're alright, but I think it doesn't show enough of the gems through it. I could probably sand that down and reveal some of those gems a little bit more, but I don't want to have to go to all that work. I'm disappointed in that one. And again, that was the watercolour one. I would have probably been better off spraying it, but the chrome marker was absolutely fine. So great experiment. Hope that's really helped you. I will definitely be using those acrylic markers and things on there again, and the watercolours as well, because I loved how they've come out. Hope you've enjoyed this experiment as much as I have with resin-crete. If you have, then check out my resin-crete videos on this channel. I've got a whole playlist of them on different experiments and different things that you can make and do with it, and how to make money with it as well. You can make some really good money on it. So check out that playlist coming up now. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.